Long before clocks or screens, back when time was measured only by hunger and daylight, a group of early humans sat huddled beneath a rock overlook as rain sealed them inside for 3 straight days. The storm had come fast, the kind that turned the valley below into a churning gray river and made the world outside their shelter disappear behind a curtain of water. There was no hunt to run, no fire to tend, no berries to gather. Just 11 bodies pressed together for warmth, and nothing but silence and restlessness pressing in from every side. At first, boredom looked like agitation. Children whined and were hushed. Adults stared at the rain, arms wrapped around knees, minds circling the same worries again and again. Would the herds move on before they could hunt again? Would the stored meat last? Would the river rise high enough to reach the ledge? Idle hands picked at loose stones. Idle minds, with nothing to occupy them, began to ache in a way that hunger never had. This was a different kind of hunger, a hunger for something to do. One of them, a young man fidgeting with a splinter of bone left over from a meal days earlier, began scratching lines into the packed dirt near the shelter's edge. At first, the lines meant nothing, just motion, just something for his hands to do while his mind wandered. But motion has a way of finding shape. The random lines became curves. The curves became legs, then a body, then the unmistakable outline of a deer. The same deer, or one very much like it, that the group had chased through a ravine weeks earlier before it vanished into the brush. He added antlers. Someone leaned over to look, said nothing, but nodded. A small, wordless acknowledgement that something had just happened that mattered. A few feet away, an older woman had picked up 2 smooth stones and, without any real purpose, began knocking them together. Click, click, click. She wasn't trying to make music. She was trying to fill silence, the same way the young man had filled the dirt. But rhythm, like the deer's outline, found its own shape. She varied the spacing. Click, 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 click. A child nearby began bobbing his head without realizing it. By the time the first day's gray light had faded into full dark, 3 other people had joined in. Some clapping, one humming a low, wordless note that rose and fell with the stones, until the whole group, without ever deciding to, was swaying together to a beat none of them had planned to create. By the second night, the group's attention had shifted again. Someone began speaking into the dark, low and deliberate, the way people do when they're building something with their voice rather than just reporting facts. She was telling a story about why the storm had come, a tale of an angry sky spirit, disturbed by something the group had done, now venting fury across the valley until it was satisfied. It wasn't true. It didn't need to be. What it did was give shape to something formless, an explanation the group could hold on to, argue about, retell, and eventually believe, at least a little. By the third day, the story had stopped being just a story. The children were reenacting it, stomping and flailing their arms as they took turns playing the furious sky spirit, laughing, arguing over whose turn it was, revising details of a myth that was less than 48 hours old. When the rain finally broke on the morning of the 4th day, and the group stepped back into the sun, blinking, stiff-legged, and hungry. They left behind more than footprints. They left scratch drawings on the cave wall that future generations would return to add on to. They left a rhythm 2 of them couldn't stop humming for days afterward, tapping it absent-mindedly while working. And they carried with them a myth that would outlive every person who had been trapped in that shelter, retold, reshaped, and passed down until it became something closer to belief than story. Nothing about those 3 days had been necessary for survival. No food was found. No danger was fought off. And yet, looking back across tens of thousands of years, it's hard to find 3 days more important. Because trapped in that shelter, with nothing to do and nowhere to go, a group of bored, restless humans had just invented art, music, and religion, all without meaning to, simply because their minds refused to sit still in the silence.